Hi everyone, and welcome to my 100 Days of Stardew Valley's video. Today I'm going to be doing a modded playthrough of my 100 Days of Stardew Valley, including Stardew Valley Expanded, Ridgeside Village, and East Scarp. And I'm going to be using a modded farm as well, called Solo Four Corners Farm by Daisy Nico. Here's all the other mods that are on my screen. In general, my goal here is to not use anything that would make my game necessarily easier. So no cheats or anything like that, but I do want to add as much content as I can into the game. I think that these mods, although there's definitely some exploits that we'll explore moving forward, in general kind of slowed down my playthrough of my 100 days because I was very tempted to explore and meet all the villagers instead of min-maxing and doing a lot better as I could have on the farm, but in general I had a really great time. You'll see here is where I realized that I still had a couple of cheats on, so I went through and fixed all those right away and did not cut them out of the video because I didn't want you guys to see. But on day one I got some mail saying to go to the East Scarp location, which I had never explored before, so I thought that would be really fun to do on day one right after I had cleared my farm and that quick little speed run through that I showed there. And I met a few different villagers. This is just a brief overview, but I kind of explored as much as I could. I helped find this villager's cat, and then I headed back to the saloon to buy, Pierre's to buy some seeds. I have a ton of mods that add different crops. So I went to this reference sheet that I found online to understand which ones are actually going to be profitable, as I have no idea what I'm doing. I did see here that passion flowers were really profitable but super expensive, and carnation flowers were not that bad if I was looking for something that would give me a return quickly. So I decided to go for those two, and you'll see them a ton in spring along with some kale. And then at the end, I just did a lot of exploring and found as much forage as I could, hoping to make as much money as possible. Here I am exploring, I think this is Ridgeside. I did the expanded area as well, and this is my haul. That 4-leaf clover was worth like 400 gold, which was really exciting, and I leveled up in foraging as well. But that's the end of day one. I think I'm going to go through and make some shorts for each days of this as well. I may have already done that, I'm not quite sure. But day two started with Clint showing up, and I wanted all my crops, and then after that point I went and donated those items that I had gathered from my travels the day before and got my fishing rod. A theme you'll see in this playthrough is that I really hate fishing. I don't enjoy it whatsoever. Maybe I should install a mod to make it easier. It's not that I find it hard, I just find it really boring. So I am going to do my best to make as much money as possible from crops in this playthrough and a lot of foraging because I have so many locations opposed to fishing that I think a lot of people do early game. But there you'll see that I did level up in foraging again to level 2. And since it's raining, I mostly cleared off the farm, looked for a bunch of forageables, and I think literally that's everything that I did on day 3. Because there was no way I was going to catch a catfish. But I leveled up in my mining and was able to craft cherry bombs just from that little area on my farm, and then we're on to day 4. I play with modded farms constantly. I have explored Ridgeside a ton and expanded a ton, but I've never used East Scarp, so I'm super excited for that. Wow, I went through a few days super fast, but after this time I got a cat. For some reason I named it Lemon. I think I was drinking lemon tea at the time, I'm not sure. But I finally finished my parsnip quest and went forward. I noticed that there was someone in Ridgeside who sells crops, so I went there to see if they were more expensive or less expensive, and it seemed like a toss-up. The parsnips were way cheaper, but some of the random other things were almost a third more in price, which was not fantastic, but you'll see it's a 5th, so I did some mining. I did not make it super far, but I did get a magnet ring and some work boots here, and then headed back to my farm. On day 6 I got the letter from the wizard after I had the opening scene at the community center, and I went and drank his weird potion so I could read the plaques at the community center, and then immediately donated some items so that I could get some wild seeds. You'll see them there. And then I'm just checking out what options I have because I am playing with remix bundles. I got the Fish Farmers bundle, which I like and I don't like, so we'll see how that goes moving forward. And I had almost no luck in the mines. I ended up getting stuck on a monster floor, and you'll see here that I tried to run home in time, and it is so much farther and expanded to get home. Not that that's an excuse, but I made it till just about here before I passed out, unfortunately. But that's fine because it found out that Linus ended up finding my body, and I wasn't find anything or a lot, and so that's totally fine. This is me donating like the 2 fish I have caught so far in this playthrough, and some more donating to the museum as well. I would love it if I could open the sewers moderately quickly in this playthrough. We'll see how that goes, but it is Lewis's birthday, so I gifted him a parsnip, which it said that he liked, and I did a little bit of fishing and was unsuccessful and only got seaweed. But I here was headed to the saloon because when I was there the day before, I noticed that these milks were super cheap. I passed it now, but they're like 100 gold and they replenish like 100 energy, which is incredible for the price. So I knew I immediately needed to buy some of those. I also saw that they had coffee that was cheaper, like a black coffee in a can. So I was super interested in that. I also, since I'm doing so much foraging, I'm hoping to unlock the tea sapling recipe as soon as possible. So I went and purchased some speed grow from one of the vendors in Ridgeside to be able to plant spring roses, because I looked it up and it said that they were Caroline's favorite and generally easy to plant. So that is my goal. And you'll see here I just made a furnace and then leveled up in farming finally. I think I just started off this day by meeting a new NPC called Kiwi, who's adorable, and then trying to complete this quest for Clint. One of the mods I'm playing with has these like additional artisan crafting machines, which is super fun, but some of them are very expensive to craft and some of them you don't unlock for a really long time, so it definitely slows down perfection. But at that point, here I gifted Vincent for his birthday and finished that quest. But anyway, I crafted a few of these drying racks, which I think are only for flowers, or they might be for flowers and vegetables. So I did my best to make some of those because it doubles the sell price of goods, which is really good. It's basically like a preserved jar. Here I am back in the mines, trying to get as deep as possible as in these dark levels, and I'm showing you here that I did also use a predictor from a Stardew Valley creator named Blade. This is just so I can like waste the least amount of in-game time as possible, because I don't want to devote a large amount of days, and I was not getting very good luck, and not a ton of energy either, so I can just like open the stone that would open the floor for me. I'm only doing this when I don't have a ton of time or a ton of energy, but I'm doing my best here to get deeper in the mines, and yeah, that's all. Whenever I have free time, I'm absolutely trying to do some foraging, especially because I keep finding these 4-leaf clovers, which are worth 400 gold, and I have determined that they are from the expanded mod, which are way better for your time than most other options in the game. But you'll see I barely made it to bed here at 1:30 p.m. I leveled up in farming and in mining and in combat this evening and started off my next day. I have so much kale planted, in the hopes of getting as much as I can before the egg festival. Here you'll see that those dryers ended up finishing off for me, and they were kind of glitchy with their final product. Like the item description was kind of glitched, but I triple checked and it was worth what I expected, which was double the price of the original item. So I let it be. There's nothing really wrong there. And I had a quick cutscene with Lewis regarding the North Farm. In my opinion, a hilarious part about Stardew Valley Expanded is that to the north area by the spa, there is like a cute little farm with a farmer named Susan who lives there. But like, she's completely blocked off because of Joja for more than a month, and it's implied she has been blocked off since way before then, and no one is concerned at all that she's stranded on her own, which is quite concerning. I also finally got to the strawberry festival, which is where I bought a bunch of strawberries in hopes of making some money, and met all of the villagers who I had not met yet, including Jarek and Ian and a bunch of other people. Here is a very speedy run through of a flawless egg run. I think I gathered 9 here. Flawless is an exaggeration, but I did do pretty well, and I kicked all the kids' butts, which is so funny. Although a nice thing about Expanded is some of the older people do participate in the egg festival, which makes me feel so much less bad about running around and getting the prize for myself. And I got a new hat, which I wear for the remainder of this video. I finished off some bundles and got speed grow, and this is where I guess I was bad at math because in my head I knew that if you use speed grow on strawberries you would get an extra harvest, which is a fantastic tip and can make you a ton of extra money. However, that only applies if you do it on the very first day that you plant, I guess, and even though if you apply the speed grow the second day it still cuts off 1 day of growth, it is not enough. So I wasted like 800 gold on this endeavor, which is such a bummer. But what can you do? You'll see here my dad sent me 500 gold, and one of the other farmers in Expanded sent me 3 strawberry seeds, which is great, and I planted them here. And all of my carnations are done, and I'm going to dry a ton of them in hopes of extra cash, as well as my kale is done, which I can sell for more money. It is a villager named Olivia's birthday, who it says that she likes kale, so I figured why not save her one and gift it to her. And then I went and upgraded my watering can because I was not confident in my abilities to get sprinklers going quick enough, so I thought this would be a good option. I finally got the forest sword in the mines, which helped speed up my process, although I am getting to the point where I definitely need to upgrade my pickaxe because it takes like 4 hits to break a stone, but I made it to level 60 and upgraded my farming and got a recipe for PB&J sandwiches. Fun fact, the very first time I ever tried to make 100 Days of Stardew Valley, I thought it would be fun to like only sell things that I cooked, and I thought that would be really fun. And I played with all of these cooking mods, which I have a ton right now installed, and I made no progress. I was like done summer, so about halfway through the challenge, and I had done absolutely nothing in my playthrough, and it was horrible, and I remember that I was so disheartened from doing this challenge ever again. I completely gave up. But here I am again, trying one last time and giving myself way less rules. It's Trini's birthday, who is one of the new kids in Ridgeside Village. Trini, I guess. So I gifted her a gift and donated some more things to the museum, unlocking some more rewards. I have this clip in here so you can see all of the new recipes you can buy from Gus, and me be a complete moron and accidentally buy the recipe for croissants, which cost like 800 gold, so I wasted even more money, which was fantastic. On the 16th, I caught an eel and then immediately put it into the night fishing bundle, which I probably should have saved to duplicate, but that's okay. And put in a bunch of my other collections as well. For the crab pot there, it looks like I just need like 2 more items, so I'm really hoping to get a drop from a rock crab in the mines. And I went back to mine some iron because that is the Stardew way. Here is a super quick playthrough of me opening all my geodes. I was super excited there when I got iridium because I need it for the engineers bundle, which is really helpful because then all I need is a battery pack, which I should unlock the recipe for the lightning rods pretty soon. And I made it to level 80 and unlocked interesting club that I've never had before, which I used for quite a while, and then I farmed up some more gold and copper. I would love to have the minecarts completed as soon as possible in this playthrough because we're playing with Expanded. It is way longer for you to get from the mines back home, but I am really locked behind a battery pack. I have gifted Pam for her birthday here, and I'm hoping maybe she'll send one in the mail. I also went to Clint's And he is selling coal seeds, which is from a mod I think called Fantasy Crops. So I was super excited because farming coal is very difficult, and I bought those. I bought more carnation seeds, and I bought some more other seeds as well before the end of the season. Here I got Robin's lost axe, which is fantastic, and did some fishing specifically for seaweed, which I thought this was the best location for, and made myself tired, but it was totally fine because I had leveled up in farming. I chose tiller to make crops worth 10% more, which was pretty good considering I tend to do a ton of crops when I play Stardew Valley. And then Demetrius came and asked what I wanted for the mines, and I chose bats because I really wanted to finish that artisan bundle as quick as possible, and I was not in the mood to buy a bunch of fruit trees right now because I feel so tight on cash this entire playthrough. This is me hanging out outside Carolyn's room waiting to give her a spring rose because I am trying to level her up as soon as possible. And me slightly panicking because I'm worried I won't get enough quality parsnips in time, so I last minute added some more to my docket and also did some fishing. This was a great haul. On the 20th, I both bought a beer and gave it to Shane for his birthday, and sold a bunch of goods, including more of those dried flowers, and that was it. I have had the best luck I've ever had for rain in one of these games. It's like the seed knows that I am behind and don't have sprinklers. So it was raining once again on the 21st, so I sold a bunch of strawberries and got to work on my farm buildings. I sold some extra here just to get exactly to 10,000 because I thought I was going to buy 5,000 things. And here I started with buying a fish pond, and you'll see that I did not realize that I still had one of the mods enabled from like filming other modded content, and it built immediately, which was super disappointing, and I didn't know if I should restart the day or give up. So I went through, and you'll see I fixed it here. I was trying to see, I guess I had durable fences on, which is fine because I haven't built a single fence. And didn't know what to do, so I just kept it. I built my coop and decided I just wouldn't put anything in the fish pond for a few days and would call it a day. I mean, it's not like this is going on speedruns or anything like that, so it doesn't super matter, but I did want as ethical of a run as possible. And then I went right back into the mines in the hopes of getting deeper, and I just made it to level 90, got a dagger, which I wasn't super excited for, and called it a day. I leveled up in fishing, which was really exciting, only because I got crab pots, and I also leveled up in mining and took them more ores per vein. But I got crab pots, which are a good way of getting fishing XP without having to fish. And I went on the hunt for this villager for her birthday, who I could not find for the life of me. It took me like until 2 o'clock in the afternoon to find Eloise, but I finally did, and I gave her a daffodil, and then I gave Sean a green bean for their birthday, and headed right back to the mines in order to get more iron, which was my main goal. I leveled up in combat, and you'll see here that I have a ton more of my crops ready for sale. Here I am here with my inventory to full. I have a mod on, which I made a video on before, for both larger inventories and stashing automatically to inventory. So basically it makes it so one chest can hold all of your goods, and also there's like a hotkey on your keyboard. I think it is like Q, that makes you stash all of your items to chests nearby, and I can't play without them. I love them so much. I love not getting lost and overwhelmed with all my goods in my chests, and also not having to like spend a ton of time adding things back into chests as well. But it's the flower dance, which is fantastic and super exciting. So I went around and looked at all the villagers, and then it occurred to me that I do not have any villagers above 3 hearts, so I will be alone in the corner watching the flower dance single, which is so fitting. But I bought the tub of flowers recipe, and I bought the scarecrow, and I stood around and watched them dance in this weird combo. The next day, even more of my carnations were done, and I harvested them all, and I harvested my strawberries, and I was feeling really good. And I think this is where I realized that the strawberries say that they have 4 days left and not 3 days left, so I'm not going to get another harvest out of them, and that was super disappointing. But I went back into Piers and gifted Caroline a spring rose, which did not get her to 2 hearts yet, but I am super close. And then came home and planted a bunch of spinach, because I guess spinach only takes 3 days to grow, and I thought it would be kind of nice to have one last crop. My coop was ready though, so I bought a white and a brown chicken. I think I named them Lemon and Lime, or Orange and Lime, going along with the citrus theme. And then I went all the way up to the carpenter's Robins and built a silo in the only place I could find space. Luckily, she could basically teleport there, so all's well. And sold like a ton of stuff. This was one of my most profitable days on the farm, and I leveled up farming. And yeah, here you'll see I found out that it was someone's birthday. Pierre's birthday, so I went and looked up what I could get for him to deliver it, and then once that was done, I went to the mines and mined some gold. I'm very much hoping for summer that I have no crops to water, so I'm getting as much coal and iron as possible, and I finally leveled up I finally reached level 100 of the mines on day 26 and was able to get the star drop. This was Emily's birthday, and I gave her a topaz and then upgraded my watering can to be steel so that the new season it would be ready. And that is everything. And then this is the final day of this challenge, Wool of Spring, which is super bittersweet. So I gathered all of my spinach. It is not worth a ton of money, I realized, but I guess it was better than nothing. Headed to Ridgeside for Bert's birthday, and as per usual, went through the mines to get some gold. I made it to level 110 and got some new boots. I put those on my character, leveled up mining and combat, and that was it. After selling all of my goods here, you see I made about $3,800. But here's the overview for spring. I made just over $60,000. I made it to mines level 110. I missed 2 birthdays. I won the egg festival, and I am not even remotely close to the community center. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in summer.